question. Whatever happened to the connection with Bell Labs and all the great technology from that?
Well, there was Bell Labs, which was you know, a historical, unbelievable research organization that was given a lot of money and allowed to do primary research without you know, requiring it to be successful in the marketplace. One of the best examples of an invention that came out of Bell Labs is wireless. And we sold the wireless patents because the quality wasn't as good as a landline, and we didn't think the product would be able to. Another product is a picture phone. Now, there was a product that was introduced at the World's Fair and didn't go anywhere. But there were still people, when I knew it there, that were still working on picture phone. The Bell Labs was split the first time when we spun off the equipment business with Lucent. So you had, you know, a bunch of people go to Lucent, a bunch of people stayed, and over time, the desire for return on investment from the research arm basically ended up killing it. They weren't funding basic research anymore, and there were a few people that were still around, but they basically ran out of money. Sad, but true.
Other questions? Yes?
Were there other innovation leaders in the other business units of AT&T? Like you mentioned, you consumer, you know, you were sort of taking the lead to do things and get punished later. Did you ever have other peers or try to work together on a corporate level innovation? Or?
We would meet secretly. I mean, not secretly. We would just get together without anybody asking us to. You know, for the different disciplines to sit, you know, for AT&T consumer to sit down with AT&T business, sit down with wireless, sit down with cable companies. It was unheard of. I mean, there are some things we were successful with, some things we weren't. Cable companies have something called avails. They have commercial slots that they haven't sold. And so we said to the cable companies we own, run our commercials, we'll pay you 10% of what you can sell at the time for. The other place that there was great innovation going on was the wireless company. And I have to tell you that I was the one that got in front of a lot of their inventions, because I vehemently argued that there was no way I was going to do email on a screen this size. Now I have a Hava at home. You know what that is? That you can flip your cable, put it over on the internet. I can watch TV on this for $180. So wireless is really, really thinking. Never thought of it.
Yes?
Good afternoon. I'm J.R. Magwan, a student here at Hult Business School. Just a question, because we're doing a simulation right now. It's a business simulation where we set up a company and we kind of develop products on our own. I just want to know, in the high technology industry, how do you come up with new products? I mean, where do you base it? What kind of research do you look into just to make sure that this product would work towards your specific target market? I mean, you have a broad range of target market right now, and how innovation would work in that scenario.
That's, if you had the answer to that, you'd be a very wealthy person. The challenge is, you know, one of the other things that I'm working on right now is another talk about what is innovation. Look at Redbox. Are you familiar with Redbox? You go to the grocery store, pay $1, rent a DVD, put it back in. Why, when you can download off your pay-per-view, why is Redbox so successful? And what was innovative about Redbox was DVDs and distribution system. Well, it's all automated. You pick up your DVD, by the time you get home, you already have an email that says you rented it. Pretty interesting. Another innovation that I think is very amusing is that Procter & Gamble had a paper towel that they introduced that was smaller than the full-size paper towel, so that you didn't have to use a whole paper towel. And I had an opportunity to talk to the product manager. I said, why would you sell a product that encourages people to only use half the paper towel? And she said, it's not half, it's 2/3. And our market research showed us that people thought it was half, so they take 2. So now they're using 4/3. Is that innovation? It's a very profitable product.
It's not a green, is it?
No.
That's similar to the story I heard about the laundry detergent. Now they are so concentrated. People in their molds are still associating certain amounts of, and they did make the cups smaller. That's the interesting part. So people are still putting way too much laundry detergent in. Actually, to the fun that one of the head of the division was basically was telling us that he went running once in his pants, and there was so much laundry detergent left in it. He actually started throwing bubbles from all the sweat because his wife was overdosing.
Yes.
You alluded in your discussion to something which might be endemic to the American economic problem that we're facing today. And that is that business as big as AT&T is driven by Wall Street's expectation of the revenue, which essentially should be the other way around. Wall Street should be reflecting of what American companies are doing, not directing what the American company should be doing. In your position at AT&T, ever did you come across with pundit at Wall Street and trying to basically change the direction as opposed to taking direction?
For a period of time, most of the time AT&T, when it spoke to the analysts on Wall Street, would send the chief financial officer and the chairman. And not to be unkind, chief financial officer, chairman didn't have a clue what was going on inside the business, really deep inside. Because they're at such a high level. You're running a $50, $60 billion company. You really are hard pressed to understand what's going on inside. So a decision was made that, you know what, for the analysts to better understand us, we're going to drop down a couple, 3 levels of management. And we're going to have the analysts come in and talk to people who are running the businesses. The strategy was, if they understood what we were doing, they would value the company higher than the declining revenue stream, because they would see that there's a future here.
Any other questions about, okay, one more on AT&T?
Yeah, I'm just curious, because all the stories you tell, it's almost like trying not to be a big company and trying to carve it out, hide it. It just sort of raises the question of what is the benefit of innovating at a large company? Everything is, like, apart from having money, if everything's quite negative. And it sort of raises the question of whether we're looking at the right performance metric, we're looking at company survival. I think that's just a really bad way of spending the money. I mean, if I owned AT&T, I wish, wouldn't I be better off actually just starting up a new company to cannibalize AT&T, rather than trying to do it inside AT&T that has a huge, greater chance of failing?
Absolutely. A good example of that is Vonage. There were a bunch of people in AT&T that wanted to do voice over IP, and we weren't going to fund it. It was too cannibalized too much. They left and started Vonage. But you said something that was very critical. You said, other than having the money, do you know what the root of the word entrepreneur is? It's French for I need money. That's the biggest challenge when you start a company, is getting cash. Cash is always critical. And that's the only advantage you have inside a large company, in my opinion.
But do you think that's changing now? It seems like there's quite a bit of money floating around in VC and stuff like that. So maybe there's no advantage whatsoever.
I understand. It was easier for GM to keep loading benefits and retirement benefits and health benefits on the employees than to take a strike. But the management team that did all of that is gone. And I got a new management team trying to deal with decisions that were made 10 to 20 years ago. It's tough.
Just a comment on
Chips,
that.
yeah.
But there's certain businesses, I think they only work if they are scalable. So you can get $5 million from a VC, but a phone business, you need hundreds of millions of dollars to make it work. So there's all this infrastructure that needs to go into place, at least that's my thinking.